Were you nervous? You go first.
No.
I was terrified. I don't know if I want to like make this commitment. I cried because I was stressed.
You need counseling.
But we don't.
But we didn't.
And they were just like ignoring us. We're like, guys, we have to go.
So here's the deal. We got married and we're answering questions about the wedding.
Yeah.
Just not the ones we don't want to answer.
We asked you on Instagram and on YouTube to ask us questions about our wedding. We got many questions, so we're just going to be going through a few of them. And yeah, we're just going to get started. First question is, have you gone on a honeymoon? Multiple people asked that. And
yes.
We have 2 vlogs uploaded before this video about our Hawaii honeymoon. It was awesome.
They're good videos. You should watch them. It was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun. We went to Oahu and Maui, and some of the highlights were...
There's a guy in our room fixing our air conditioning.
Did you get the experience you wanted considering COVID?
Yes.
I think we did.
Yeah.
We had fewer people than originally we planned for. We still got to do a lot of wedding things. We still got to have our family and our close friends.
Yeah, and we had the caterers were still there, and the food was great.
Yeah, the food was really good. When you think about your wedding, like a long time ago before COVID was a thing, you never expected people would be wearing masks and all of that. Like, you never expected to have to deal with pandemic things and like people canceling last second because, you know, they may have been exposed to COVID. Everything that happened was perfect, and I couldn't imagine it any other way because I just really enjoyed it. So the short answer to that question is yes. Were you nervous? You go first.
No.
You weren't nervous at all?
Not really.
I was terrified. I always assumed that like when people said they were nervous because they were like, I don't know if I want to like make this commitment and like, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't nervous about, I was nervous about like the dances I had to do and stuff.
Right, that's what I mean.
But yeah.
That's why I was terrified. Like, I wasn't terrified about marrying you. Like, I 100% knew that I wanted to do that. Like, there was no doubt in my mind. Like, and I didn't have any doubt that you wanted to go back on it either. So I wasn't worried about him not wanting to or me not wanting to or any of that. And that's what I always assumed because like in the movies, it's always like, do I want to do this, you know? But for me, it was just nervous. I was just nervous because like I had to walk down the aisle with a bunch of people staring at me. After the ceremony was over, everything was just completely fine.
Like, I was nervous about my dance with you, my dance with my mom.
Oh, I wasn't even nervous about that. I figured if those went wrong, it didn't matter. But like the ceremony is like, what if I mess up what I'm saying? I don't know why. But for me, that was like the hard part.
Yeah.
Next question is, who sang the best karaoke?
Yeah, we had karaoke at the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
Probably
Us.
Yeah, probably us. No, we did good.
I'm just kidding.
No, we did really good.
No. I was very nervous about that. Like, I was shaking the entire time for that, too. You made me.
I made you.
Yeah.
Maybe John. John did really good.
I thought your grandfather did a good job.
Yeah, he did.
That was fun.
That was adorable.
Yeah. Did you cry while walking down the aisle? I didn't cry. Wait, did I cry while or did I cry when I got the end?
No, about it. You were still walking a little at the end, so you did.
Okay. Well, either way, yes, but not for the reason that I should have been crying. I'm actually trying to forget that I cried, so like I might not even put this in the video because I don't want to remember that I did, because I didn't cry because I was like happy. I cried because I was stressed.
You cried because you saw someone else crying.
I also saw, yeah, his brother, his best man, was crying. I was already stressed and trying not to cry, and then I saw someone else crying and it just made me cry. That's why I'm trying to forget, because like the feeling of the crying wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is like the happiest day ever. The feeling of the crying was like, I'm gonna have a panic attack if I don't stop crying right now, and everyone's looking at me and what do I do? And I was like, what if people think I don't want to marry him because I'm crying and like I don't want to do this? And I was just like, every scenario going through my head. It stopped eventually. My dad was like, take deep breaths. I don't know what happened during that whole part of the wedding, like walking down the aisle. I walked in, I saw one person, and then I saw Gray, and I saw Jack, his brother, and those were the only people I saw.
Yeah, I don't remember what anyone said. I don't remember who was there, like...
I mean, everyone obviously was there, but like,
yeah, but I didn't
see
like,
where they sat.
Yeah, I didn't notice people while we were actually doing the thing. I was just like, okay, I need to do this, then I need to walk around over here, then I need to hold your hand, then I need to not hold your hand, then I need to hold your other hand, and then I need to say a thing again, then we need to turn this direction or this direction, and then we need to repeat this stuff, and then we need to go light this candle. And so...
And I'm usually so good at that kind of stuff, like I remember like where I am and stuff, but like my mind was just like going insane. And like, I'm so glad that you knew what you were doing because you were like leading me. Oh, did you cry?
A little bit. Not as much as some of my groomsmen did and my best man, but I did a little bit.
Yeah, Gray was mainly just smiling.
I cried more at the rehearsal actually, because I could like relax and like take in what was going on at the rehearsal. But during the actual thing, I was just so focusing on like what we had to do next that I didn't want to screw something up.
Why did you pick the date you picked, and congratulations?
That date was originally right before my spring break, and so we picked it so that we could take the next week and go on our honeymoon without me missing any class for
He's
law
in
school.
law school.
Yeah, I'm in law school. But they changed my spring break so that only half of that week I got off, so we were still able to miss some of it without missing much class, but I did miss some class, but it was worth it because it was the honeymoon.
Yeah, and we also picked that date because originally we wanted to get married kind of soon. Like we didn't want to put it off for like over a year or anything. We were looking at January because you had winter break, but we wanted to be farther away from January because we figured like COVID might still be really bad then. So we wanted to be farther out when more people would be vaccinated, which a lot of people who were at the wedding were vaccinated, especially the older people that were there, which was good. Did y'all add any special vows? What kind of cake did you have?
We didn't really add any special vows. We talked there was a lot of prep leading up to this with the pastor who married us. And we did a lot of it
We had to do premarital counseling.
Yeah, which was rad.
Yeah.
And we basically...
I'm sorry.
It's not because it's dumb. It's everything in it was important. We just already knew it because we're complete pros
at being a couple.
And we already know everything we would need to know to be a successful couple.
That's just gonna make us sound like so ridiculously cocky.
So you need counseling.
But we don't.
But we didn't.
No, we're just kidding.
So we did some prep with the pastor before we got married, and we talked about what we wanted to be included in the service. And we ended up
doing that thing where it's following like a thing again. See?
Whoa.
Why does it do that?
Whoa. I was saying we did some prep with the pastor before we got married. And we ended up picking the pretty traditional vows out of the Book of Common Prayer.
Yeah.
There were some things that we wanted to make sure were in there, but we didn't make anything up. We chose stuff that people have used for a long time. We really wanted the response to the questions of intent to be I will instead of I do, because we didn't want to talk about how we feel today or what we're doing today, but wanted to make it clear that we're making a promise toward the future.
Why change something that's so perfect the way that it is, you know?
Yeah, those were the vows that we wanted to be bound by, because it's a promise, and that's what we wanted to promise.
Yeah. And the cake, because that was the second part of the question, the cake was a yellow cake, and it had raspberry filling and fudge filling, chocolate fudge. It was so good, and then it had white buttercream on the outside, and it was decorated with white roses, and it was really, really pretty. I'll show a picture of that. It was made by a bakery that I always went to as a kid, and I always saw the wedding cakes like in their little display case, and I always was like mesmerized by the wedding cakes. How did you do the music? Hire a DJ, make your own playlist? Did you even have a dance?
Yes.
Yeah, we did have a dance.
We did have a dance. We hired a DJ. He did an awesome job putting together music for the whole evening. A lot of it was music we gave him from our days in marching band. And so we played, not the marching band version, but the original version of songs that we played in marching band at the University of Virginia.
Yeah.
And so that was fun because
that's how we met and everything, and they're like good songs. And you know, he was really nice. He made the evening flow along. It was really awesome. I recommend having a DJ unless you want to have like a live band or something, but like he just kind of announced stuff, and it was very helpful. And he had these 2 tables that he like used to separate himself from the guests and everything. So like he was COVID safe and all of that. So
It was great.
it was really good. Yeah. Did we explain how it was in a tent? It was this massive tent. It was huge. Like it could have held like 5 times the amount of people that were actually in the tent. Like we were trying to really social distance and all of that. So it was, but it ended up being beautiful in there. There was like this, what's it called? Bistro lighting. It was 20 degrees that night, so it was freezing outside. But the tent was super warm because there were all these heaters in it, but then it also had airflow from outside, which was like good for COVID and all of that. So it was perfect for everything. Yeah. Somebody asked how I was feeling, which has nothing to do with the wedding. But one thing that I will say is that my oncologist let me stop taking my medicine before the wedding through the honeymoon. So I was feeling fantastic through that entire time, which was really nice. Now I'm kind of just back to the way I was, which is eh. How are you feeling?
I feel great. A little gassy. Might have been all that sausage I ate.
A little gassy. How did you pick out your dress?
Great question. So I got my dress made by these guys who make dresses.
I am having a hot flash.
Good one.
And it's very hot. I went to a little bridal shop. Oh man.
I think the air conditioning repairman just fell off the roof.
The designer wasn't making any more of that particular style of dress, so it was the last one. It was close enough to my size that they could alter it. They didn't have to like make to order one, because if they had to do that, then I wouldn't have been able to have this dress. Any special traditions / moments you added to your wedding?
We added the shoe game.
We did.
Dances with our parents.
Yeah, I had a dance with my dad, he had a dance with his mom. We had a dance together.
We did a generational dance. That was probably the coolest part of the reception, where we had everyone who's married go out on the floor, and then they would kind of go up in time. And if you've been married for less than that amount of time, then you would leave the floor. So we left because we were most recently married.
Yeah.
And then so on all the way up to my grandparents who've been married 60 years.
Yeah, they were going to be celebrating their 60th anniversary just later in the month. So it was really cool that like that was happening the same month that we had our wedding. Everything about our wedding was just so awesome. It was like the best night ever. After our wedding, we had a sparkler exit. That was fun. That was cool, except for like they were short sparklers, and like the people at the end that were closest to us were taking forever and not letting us walk past. Like, you guys who are at the end, like what the heck? Our event planner was like, go now, and then the people were like reaching across the aisle so we couldn't get past them. We were like, guys, we're trying to go. Guys, we gotta go. And they were just like ignoring us. We're like, guys, we have to go.
And so by the time we got to the middle, their sparklers had all run out because they'd started them when they were supposed to. But the people at the end had time to get out a second sparkler and relight it. So
yeah, so that was fun.
It was a mess. It was great.
And then we immediately drove. It was like 10:30 or around then that we were exiting, and we immediately drove to Richmond because that's where our flight was going to be leaving out of the next morning to go to Hawaii. And it was going to be leaving at, was it 8 a.m.?
Something like
so we had to actually leave the hotel at like 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't really sleep that much. We slept for like 2 hours. And yeah, we were exhausted, but we had like the caterer packed us up some of our appetizers and our food, and she got us sparkling grape juice because we don't really like champagne or wine. Well, he likes champagne.
Champagne's good.
But sparkling grape juice is just so much better.
It just, it's tasty.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then we went to Hawaii, and you can see what we did in Hawaii in those other videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, check out some of the other ones and subscribe. And here's the thing about the bell. Turn it on if you want notifications about when we make new videos, But if you don't want that, that's annoying to you, don't turn it on. Just subscribe because it supports us.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that. You should watch all of our videos.
Yeah, but
I mean,
like...
if you might have to go like seek them out and find them.
I'm just thinking about me as a person, and it annoys me when I get like a million emails. Like, this person uploaded a video. I just like to log onto YouTube, and then when I see like who I'm subscribed to on the front, then I click on a video.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I'm saying about the bell. Like, do it if you want, don't do it if you don't. But
Do it.
it doesn't hurt to subscribe, it's free. Alright, that's all. Bye.